What's going on, guys? I got my brother Sammy. Um, I can't be too loud because the kids in there are usually enthusiastic, passionate about what I do. I want to share my brother with you. I met him through my sponsor, and he has a message, so I'm bringing him to y'all. And just bear with us. Hopefully, it comes out clear. And try to be perfect sometimes, and that just ain't the case. Connection is, it just sometimes don't work out like that. But if y'all can share this out, let's get this thing shared out. Let's get this show on the road. You see what it says at the bottom. Got my brother Sammy with us, and he comes to carry a message of hope. And I'm just gonna let him introduce. I'm gonna pray you in first, bro, like I always do, and we're gonna get it on. All right. Lord Almighty God, I just want you to work through Sammy as he shares his experience, strength, and hope, and he just gets vulnerable and transparent on this live stream and just touches one person that's sick and suffering to this insidious disease. And they're using against their will, Lord, and just lift them up and place healing on them and just be with Sammy as he just shares honest. And if he struggles with any low self-worth, any lack of confidence, any low self-esteem, that you just remove that off of him and you just work through him. Amen.
Amen.
There we go, brother.
All right. My name is Sam, and I'm a member, long time recovery. Clean date is February 26, 1995. I've been clean for 25 years. A month. I got more than a month now. That's almost 2 months now. In March, no, a month and a month and some days. So I always share my clean time because clean time means something to me. Recovery is about changing my attitudes, ideas, and behaviors, right? But I can't do that unless I get clean. And because if I'm using, I'm still running under chemical induced thoughts and ideas. I know. I don't want to. I could just talk, right? I don't have to, censor, and be. I don't. Some people don't like being judged, but I did drugs. I smoked crack. I did angel dust. I did heroin. If you told me shit to get you high, I'd smoke it. So I don't want to sugarcoat this disease, right? Because here's the hit: we got a epidemic. It's a deadly disease out there, right? Called corona, right? But jokers are still going to cop. They're still going to get one more, even if it costs them their life by catching something that's out there. That's how deadly this disease is, the disease of addiction, that it'll tell you that you're exempt from catching that, right? And that's something you won't die from the drugs, but you'll die from that. So, I got high, man. I did a lot of drugs, man. It turned me into somebody who I didn't want to be. I don't know if anyone's ever had one of those aha moments, right? Because I know I'm not the only one that's had them. When you do something dastardly to one of your family members, right? Like take something that don't belong to you, and then you have that moment that says, man, you shouldn't have done that. So, I'm talking about that disease. I'm talking about that, that mentality, that, you know what I'm saying? So real quick, just get some things out the way. There's more than one way to skin a cat. I'm not here to talk about any specific program or any specific way to get clean. I'm just here to share what works for me. I'm a member of a 12-step program, a long-standing member, and it works for me. It transformed my life. In fact, it says that it's a fundamental transformation is what takes place through the 12-step program. And so again, I'm honored to be here to share with you guys my life, man, and just share with you, and I was telling Carl, I don't care if it's 2 people, 3 people, 5 people, 1,000 people, I'm still gonna be me. You know, I'm enthusiastic about life. I'm living a life beyond my wildest dreams. When I tell you that I'm living a life beyond my wildest dreams. When I tell you, like, I would have never thought. Look, here, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example if this isn't a life beyond my wildest dreams. I'm sitting in my house today, working from my house, right, making a nice piece of change, right. And what's going on, Bobby? You know, making a nice piece of change, right? You know, this is somebody, right, who was on 10th Avenue, 23rd Street, and couldn't leave the block because I was thinking somebody was gonna drop something, and I was gonna miss something. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna miss some type of score, some type of something that I was gonna get. You know what I'm saying? How you doing, Janet? So, um, you know, so like that's where I come from, man. You know, so anyway, you know, I'm a 12-step member. I believe in the 12 steps, you know, and I believe that because that was the only thing that worked for me. I don't think, look, so, you know, I used to share this a long time ago. Now I'm going back to the, so my brother, they used to take me to church, right? And they would tell me that, you know, just come with me to church, right? And they would lay hands on me, you know what I mean? And they would try to knock me down and tell me that I wasn't going to use anymore, right? And you know what I'm saying? And I leave the church and I go use. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that God had given up on me. You know what I mean? Thinking that that wasn't going to work for me. You know what I'm saying? Because like I was unique, you know, and I was a special kind of addict, man. But I found out otherwise, man. You know, when I hit my bottom, man. So you know, like I said, I'm from Patterson, New Jersey, man, and you know, you know, this thing doesn't care where you from, right? Listen, how crazy is that, right? We in Pittsburgh, right? I'm from New
Nah,
Jersey,
yeah.
right?
Well, I'm in Washington, PA, brother. Yeah,
Right, same,
yeah,
same thing, right there. That's why
yeah.
I met you in Pittsburgh, right? Wherever that town was.
Charleroi.
Right. So, but my
Yeah,
point is
yeah.
that he struggled through the same thing I struggled from, and everybody who was there that where I met you, right? It didn't matter where they came from, what they looked like. You know what I'm saying? Whether white, black, Spanish, you know what I'm saying? Fat, gay, midget. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter. You know, we all had the same thing in common, and that was that we couldn't stop once we started. You know, once like I don't know if anybody ever thought about like I could just do one and stop, and then you know you end up 3 days later, you know, after you did more than one because you couldn't stop. So that was me, and I always share because I want listen. If you're new, and I want you to get some identification because my life, what it is today, I didn't expect for it to be this way. I thought that I was going to end up using to my last breath, you know, where today, man, like, yo, like I'm afraid to go out the house, man, because I love my life. And I believe God got some work for me to do. So, so I'm using, man, I'm getting high, man. I'm hurting people. I'm just you know, it turned me into somebody who I didn't want to be. When I woke up right out of the fog, man, there were days where, you know, and I don't want to, just like, I don't want to make this disease. I want you to understand, like, I know this disease is deadly. And when I say it turned me into somebody who I didn't want to be, I'm talking about the smelly, dirty dope fiend that I had become as a result of this thing, you know, where I smelt so bad, man, that um, I'd be at the bus stop and people be like, "Yo, man, what's that smell?" Because my feet stunk so bad. Well, today I got an obsession with clean white socks because I don't ever want to feel that way ever again. Because I'm describing to you what the physical right result was, but the spiritual, emotional, that was worse. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about like, some people say, "Oh, I had a hard time looking in the mirror." Yeah, I did, man, because I had to feel what I had become. So, I'm using in and out of programs, in and out of detoxes. I would get my weight up and feel good and escape. You know, um, I laugh because I know I'm not the only one, but I would leave these places in the middle of the night when they had an open door policy and you could have left whatever you wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a legend in my own mind, thinking that Uh, so anyway, February 26, 1995, I hit my bottom, right? And um, my bottom, right? It was an emotional bottom, man. That and don't take this the wrong way, man. But I hope that if you're suffering, man, that you hit your bottom, right? So that you can come join us. You know what I'm saying? Because so that you can come join us, so you could come and and find a new way of life. You know, you don't have to follow the same path I followed, but there's there's you can stop. In other words, the lie is dead, right? That once an addict, always an addict. That's done. Forget it. Don't even I don't even want to hear it because that's not true. Because I know so many people who are no longer using. I'm talking about not just stopping for one day, but stopping for years and years and years. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. Oh, don't ever say never. Bullshit. Fuck that. I'm good. I'm allowed to curse, man. I'm curse.
Yeah, go ahead.
Fuck that.
Raw and uncut.
You listen. I know people that have stopped. You know what I'm saying? And said, "I'll never use again." Oh, don't ever say never. Well, I read somewhere, right, that we don't ever have to use again. You don't never have to use again, never again, never again, never again. And I believe that, and I'm standing strong on it today, just for today. I ain't saying nothing about tomorrow. I'm talking about right now, this minute. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just for today program, right? I read somewhere in in the book, and it said that just for today, right? I don't have to use. I'm not worried about tomorrow as long as I stay clean today. And guess what? If I do the same thing I did today, tomorrow, I might stay clean tomorrow. But we don't know that, you know. But I know that not today, just for today, I'm going to practice what I've been doing, and that is I wake up and I surrender. How do I surrender? I say, "Thank you, God, for waking me up." You know what I mean? And if you got a problem with God, right? Listen, think of it as guaranteed overnight delivery, right? Whatever it is, whatever force is out there that you talk to, whoever it is, as long as you ain't talking to yourself. You know what I'm saying? The last joker you got high with. You know what I mean? As long as you ain't talking to him, them, her. You know what I'm saying? You got a chance. So I remember I was praying and I said, "God, if you could help me this time." And listen, he brought me to this amazing, stupendous, magnificent program, right? And I remember that I didn't think this could work for me. I didn't think that it was going to work for me again, right? This disease riding me and telling me it ain't going to work, telling me go get one more, right? Telling me that I was wasting time, that, how long you think this is going to work? You know what I'm saying? Because so many times, right? I tried to stop, but couldn't. So here's the hit, right? This is what happened. So I had told somebody what I was thinking. I told somebody that I felt like using. I asked him, I said, "Yo, you ever think about getting high?" He's like, "Yeah, all the time." I said, "Get out of here." I said, "What do you do?" He said, "I told somebody." So I remember it like it was yesterday, man, because I would think about using, and it would ride me every day. It would tell me, "Yeah, go get one." I remember I used to go to a meeting on a Friday night. It was Patterson on a Friday night in Patterson, New Jersey, right? And it was right up the street from the cow spot. So as I'd be walking into the church, they'd be whistling, "Yo, Sam, hey, yo, you want something?" And I'd run into the church and go straight to the bathroom and take a shit. You know what I'm saying? Because my stomach started to rumble. You know what I mean? And but I would go, right? And I didn't use, and I'd make it out alive. And then what I found out was that um, me alone, I am my own worst enemy. But if I talk to somebody else, the most powerful vehicle is another addict,
Or the
another
weapon.
clean addict. It's the most powerful vehicle, right? Because left up to my own thinking, right? It's my best thinking led to ever greater destruction and despair. You look those words up in the dictionary. Those are some powerful words. My best thinking. That means the best I had. That means the top notch best my mind could ever come up with led to ever greater destruction and despair. That's deep. That means that the best you got is gonna kill you. So I told somebody, and they said, so you need to talk about it. And I've been talking ever since. I've been talking ever since. And I don't right away tell on myself, but because I'm in so much of a habit of telling that, so I stop, right? I go to this program. They told me you don't ever have to use it again. They said that if you work this program, if you follow this way of life, right? And I mean, listen, man, when I tell you that, like, I didn't believe it at first. They told me that I had to get somebody to guide me who was there before me, right? Who could share their experience, strength, and hope on what worked for them. And as I started to practice what worked for them, right, it started to work for me. And the most important thing that I got, they said, don't use no matter what. Is it? In New York, they say it all the time. If you don't pick it up, you can't get high. But that thought right there, that idea, took over 15 years for me to finally get it. Because I was in and out, 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 in and out. And then in February 1995, I'm sitting in the rehab, and H&I came, and the guy said that. And I was like, what? What was that? He said, if you don't pick it up, you can't get high. I said, wait. Say that shit slow. Because it finally hit me. So you mean if I don't go cop, I won't overdose? You mean to tell me that if I don't go, so I came into the program. They told me, tell me who you're serving, and I'll tell you who you are. So if you ain't serving nobody, that means that the core of the disease got you. The total self-centeredness, it got you. Listen, Susie Q's in here, right? And I always say it, right? Like, she taught me one of the most valuable principles in this program, and that was to give. I'll give you she gives no matter what, man. I think she's told her story in this platform, right?
She did. Went like 3,000.
Yeah, listen, she told her story, right? And I know, and listen, and I know that story is 100% true because I was there to witness it. She used to buy people food at the diner, right? And she wasn't making no money. She wasn't like making big bank. And I used to be like, why are you doing that for that? It's a grown man. And she was like, and this is the type of person. So anyway, what I learned was that the more I give, the more I get. So I come in the program, I'm doing this thing, I'm working, I'm making coffee, I'm and then something happened. Something happened. I'm gonna tell you what happened. It was a spiritual awakening. That's what it's called. It says, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of the steps, whichever steps you want to use. But I know that the steps that I used worked for me, and that's what it did. It helped me to develop a relationship with, the God of my understanding, right? My understanding. You can believe in whatever you believe. In fact, before I used to believe in Oscar. You know what I'm saying? I used to call him Oscar. I'd be like, Oscar, help me. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know if anything that was out there existed or who it was. All I know is that I needed to talk to somebody other than myself. So I remember my sponsor told me that it was going to transform my life. That if I do these steps, that something is going to happen. He said, you're not going to recognize the man in the mirror. And I didn't know, man. I didn't know it was going to help me to realize, right, that I'm crazy. By myself, I'm sick. There's something wrong with me. So I started to work on that sickness. And the sickness was that I'm self-centered. I'm a devious, lying thief, cheating. You know what I'm saying? I'm capable of being anything at any time left to this disease. But that I had, listen, the principles that they talk about, like, giving, right? the principles that they talk about love, the principles that they talk about commitment, the principles that they talk about, right? That I read somewhere in the book, somewhere in another book,
Come on,
right?
baby.
Right? It said that, because I don't want to endorse nothing, man. I don't want to listen. I want you to just hear what I'm saying. I don't want to I don't represent nothing, right? I'm not representing anybody. I'm representing what God has done for me, right? And the vehicle he used, because he's going to use whatever vehicle he can get to get you. So,
Come on, baby.
so,
Share that shit.
but you know what I'm saying? That was the vehicle that he used with me. So, it says that if I practice these steps, right? And one of them was making a decision. And in that decision, I had some willingness, right? I was willing to try something different. I was willing to tell somebody about the past. I was willing to tell somebody about the past so that it wouldn't haunt me in the present. So, here's what I'm saying. The past will haunt you, right? Yeah. All the dastardly things, all the things that I did that I regret, right? I had to use more so that I could forget them. That's why I won't have to think about them. So the more ugly things I did, the more I had to use. I don't know if anybody can identify with that. But the more I did, the more I had to cover it up. So then all the good was way down in the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So once I got rid of all of the substances, the good was in there, but I had to find it. That's why we do a searching for more inventory. That's why we look at ourselves. We go back. We get rid of all of that stuff. We learn to let it go. It is what it is. It wasn't really me. I was running under the influence of a chemical that made me be somebody who I wasn't, right? And then now that we know that, you can't go back to being that person no more, because we can still be that person clean. If we don't accept it for what it was. But here's what happened. Nobody talks about, it says, we become entirely ready. I'm just saying, I read somewhere, right, in another book, it says, becoming entirely ready to have all this stuff removed, right? But nobody talks about how does that happen. I felt worse about myself clean because I had to accept who I had become as a result of the disease. That's not easy stuff to deal with. I don't know, but I know some people, oh, you just write and you don't feel. I felt every bit of it. I felt the guilt. I felt the shame. Where I wanted to hide. You know what I mean? But what happened was they told me that I didn't have to be that person no more if I just asked him for some help. That's the transformation process. Look, in the beginning, I read in a book somewhere, right? It said that we develop a conscious contact with God. And whatever you want that God to be, I'm not talking about no religious God, no church, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about whatever spiritual force you find that can help you. May it be the universe, may it be the sky, may it be the sun, may it be the sound of the waves, whatever it is that listen, all that is important is that it works. And how do you know it works? The results. Man, what? Oh, here, this is for the people. Oh, I don't care about no material stuff. I don't care if you got that or you got this. I just bullshit. If I don't see no results, I'm not gonna want to stay. That makes no sense. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. Those things don't define me, but it's sure nice as hell to have them. I'm saying, see the flat screen TV? In fact, I stopped watching it because I don't want to watch the news. I'm like done, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to vote, man. We have got to vote. This ain't, we got to vote, man. Democratic. And I'm serious. You got to vote. Whoever don't like me because I said that, too bad. This about when you get a chance to share, you don't have to share about that shit. But tonight I'm sharing it. So anyway, told me to ask. So I asked for help. I said, if you could help me this time, the same way I did February 26, 1995, I said, if you could help me. And I began to change some of those behaviors, man, that ended me up in the jackpot. The lie, the self-centeredness, the greed, Greed. Nobody really talks about that defect of character. Greed, right, will make me think that I need more than just one, more than one relationship, more than one pair of sneakers. You know what I'm saying? More than one outfit, more than one. Greed. Yeah, greed. And then because my total self-centeredness, right? I'll run on that greed and go get whatever I want because I want it and I need it right now because I need something to fix me on the inside. I need something to make me feel better. And I always share this because when I'm not feeling right on the inside, I look for something on the outside to make it feel better. And so I found out that nothing can fill the empty hole. Nothing. Nothing. I don't care the amount of sneakers. I don't care the amount of, and I'm not saying it's like, I'm thinking about it, right? That I'm not, like, I should be shopping right now on Macy's.com or something, or on, I should be shopping like for stuff, right? Because I can, but I don't need to. Listen, I don't need to fill the void. You know what I bought? I bought masks. I bought 12 sets of masks, 12 masks for the coronavirus from Vietnam. That's what I bought. So this transformation helped me to stop being the person that I had become, and it started showing me the person who I've always wanted to be. I'm trying to explain to you something, right? That it says in this book I read, it says that it happens in an intuitive manner that cannot adequately be explained in words.
Come on.
So I'm trying to explain something to you that there's no word to describe it. You'd have to feel it to know it, and I'm not saying that, listen, I'm not, because there are many awakenings. They happen in increments. They happen. The first one is when you realize that you can stop, right? And that you'll never have to use again. That's the first one. That's the first one. And because, in fact, in the book that I read, it says, at first we were captivated and intimidated by the people we've seen, right? At first. It says we were captivated and intimidated. Captivated means like, I can't believe this thing. You seriously? This thing works for you? You know what I'm saying? You ever see somebody and you see them and you ain't seen them in years, and all of a sudden they look good and they clean, and you know how they use it. They're like, wow, you ain't using no more? And they're like, yeah, I do this. And you're like, wow, that's captivated. There's also a second step, a power greater than myself, to let me see that there's another way to live. So I'm starting to like experience this whole awakening thing, right? And I'm starting to make amends to the people who I caused harm to. And as I'm doing that, I'm starting to feel, right? Like I'm surprised. Like usually, like when I was thinking about this today, right before we were signing on and everything, right, and I was feeling like real emotional. That call asked me to come and do this, right, and because it's something when somebody asks you to do something. I was telling Susie today. I was telling that yesterday. Me and Susie were talking about it, right, and I was saying that. Wow, I said, yo, Susie, I said, man, come on, I don't know why he want me to share. Why he want me to share? You know what I'm saying? Like, why he want me to share? And then I said, nah, man, you know what? I'm not going to downplay what God has done for me, because it's I can't explain it to you, right? And I'm telling Susie, I said, I got to accept it, that maybe I helped somebody. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I did something for somebody that I'm not supposed to understand. I'm not supposed to wonder. I'm not supposed to be like, why is he asking me? I'm just supposed to go. Right? Because if I'm doing this thinking that I'm like all that, it's gonna stop. I'm not all that. I'm just somebody who has a force working in their life that loves me unbelievably. Because if I think about the times that I should have been gone, right? But that's not the way the story was supposed to happen. I was supposed to be here, 2020, April 8th, sharing with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my man.
You know, I'm serious. It's called. My friend Usman from New Jersey said it to me. He said you need to catch up with yourself, and it took me months to like finally understand what he was saying. And like my life has changed, man. My life has changed. I've done some work on myself, right? That my life is not the way it used to be. I got some tangible evidence of that, right? One, I'm working from home. Two, the population that I'm working with. So wait, real quick, because I don't want to lose this, right? In this book that I read, right? In the book that I read, it
Share
says,
that shit.
it says, without this step, right, it is unlikely that we can have a spiritual awakening, right, and attract others to recovery. It said it is unlikely without this one. It says without this one, right? And it says that it's developing a conscious contact with this, what I call God, because He's going to give me the assignment. But the thing is that I need that step in order to get the assignment. My sponsor asked me, he said, what is it in the 12th step where it says we carry this message? He said, what is it in that step that the 11th step is telling you to do? So I'm clearing out all that garbage, all that nonsense. I'm realizing that I'm a good person, that I have some compassion, that I care for people, that that I care about others, that I could love others, that I could listen. And what it taught me was, that I can learn to love myself. Because in this book that I read, it says, until we can accept our own defects, we'll be able to accept the defect of others. Which means that until I can accept me, I can't accept you. That's why people, haters, as Jerry Newcomer would say, my friend Jerry Newcomer would say, he said haters. He said a hater, having anger towards everyone reaching success. It's a hater, right? I'll say it again. I'll say it slow. Having anger towards everyone reaching success. Why do they hate? Because they're so angry with themselves that they haven't stopped to realize that you need to change some things. So instead of changing themselves, they want to tell you how horrible you are. Meanwhile,
They want to look internally in them.
right. And meanwhile, I'm graduating from college. I'm getting degrees.
Share the hope.
Doing all this. I'm traveling all over the country, carrying this message, right? And I'm not. Listen, I am nothing special. You can do anybody who within hearing, you can do the same exact thing with your own style, with your own flavor to it, right? You could do it. I realize. Listen, it's not. Listen, it's just that he wanted me to do it. So he said, you could do it, but you got to change. And this change has to be evident to others. It has to be evident to others so that they can ask you. You see what I'm saying? People be like, why do you always ask you? Why do you always asking you? Why do you always asking you to do this? Because, wait a minute, not only have they seen the change, they can feel the change. So I'm doing this stuff, I'm doing this work, I'm making amends, I'm making stuff right, I'm doing all this stuff, man, and life will present itself. What do I mean life will present itself? So I'm a single parent, been a single parent for the past 16 years. My daughter's in the other room. My son's in Florida. They're grown adults now, right? And I remember when that happened, right? I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it through that to be here.
Come on, man.
So you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't think. I remember saying, God, why are you doing this? Why? You know what I'm saying? In fact, that's her picture right there, and here she is in her baptism, like his mother, right? And there she go right there, right? Because listen, her spirit is in this house. I believe it. So, I knew that I needed to be an example in my home, right? It said leadership leads by example. Who am I here? You know what I'm saying? Who
Come on,
am I
baby.
being a role model
Help
in my own
somebody.
home? You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
powerful.
am I just giving lip service, or am I actually practicing what I'm saying here in this living room right here, in
You
this
need to hear
kitchen,
that around
right?
here.
You know what I'm saying?
You
Am
need
I
to hear
really
that
doing
around
that?
here.
Look, and the thing about it is, right? And everybody has their own process. Everybody's gonna get there. You just got to get there. You can't use. You can't use. You cannot use drugs because they will kill you. But if you stay clean and stick around some people who are staying clean and are practicing a program, whatever program it is, whether it be at church. In fact, my brother-in-law, right? My brother-in-law just passed away, right, 2 weeks ago, and I believe it was from the coronavirus. He got a heart attack, ended up in the hospital, and passed away, right? So, I was like told it to my
Wow.
niece, and I was telling Susie, like he was a crackhead. He was like, he was one of them. He was smoked crack. He was bad too, man. I say that like I, but he was one of us. But he didn't do what I did to get clean. He got clean in another organization that works just fine, right? So there's more than one way to get this, but I'm just sharing with you what happened to me. So, um, my mother passed away. I didn't use. My father passed away, and I didn't use. My girlfriend's mom passed away, and I didn't use. My friends have passed on, like years. I was just sharing with somebody today, right? Christmas, right before Christmas, one of our friends' sister passed away. Somebody who I was trying to help get into treatment, because this disease, it don't discriminate. It will get you. So I, you know, I've been through some stuff. Is what I'm trying to say. Like I'm not perfect, man. Oh man, if you, I want to say it loud because I don't want it to start again. But if you saw the argument me and my daughter had the other day, I'm human, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm human. I gotta apologize. So does she. But I made 3 trays of sausage and peppers last night, and I think that was what I needed to do because it changed the mood. Anyway, I gave one pan to Susie. So here, and then I don't know how much time I got. So
Go ahead.
I started working this program, right? And I started clearing up all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? The past. It wasn't haunting me in the present, right? Because if my mind is clouded, yes, and still stayed clean. If my mind is clouded with all that stuff, man, all that rotten stuff, it says, hey, listen, you know the slogans. Listen to this. Listen to the slogans. It says, you cannot graft a new idea on a closed mind, right? I don't know if that's a slogan. That's a sentence in one of the books that I read. But they say you can't graft. Your thinking is messed up. In fact, in New York, they used to have on the walls. They used to have the signs that said "Think, think, think," upside down, and they would say, "Newcomer, don't think. Your thinking's messed up." So anyway, so I have all that stuff, and once I cleared it all out the way, new ideas started to come into my mind. See, as we continue to take inventory, right? And then we move wrong, you know, I'm not talking about right away. It could be 3 months, could be 2 weeks, could be one day, it could be an hour later. But you have to continue to take inventory, right? Because I got some new ideas for you to take on. Like, how about go back to school? That voice said, go back to school. You want to be a good parent? Go back to school and learn how. So I went back to school and I got my associates. I got my bachelor's. I got my master's degree. I'm working on my licensing, be a licensed clinical social worker, right? And I know that this is an assignment because once I graduated, I was not looking for a job. I wasn't even no Indeed, no nothing. I wasn't even sending my resume nowhere. Someone called me. This is what they said. We saw that you graduated. What do you want to do with your diploma? I said, I don't know. Interested in applying at the Recovery High School. I was like,
Wow.
oh, really? Recovery High School? Yeah, shit, I'll try that. And they hired me. So I've been working with kids who are using substances. Some who don't believe they got a problem, who were just like me. You know what I mean? In fact, to be honest with you, I'll take that back because some of them are not at the stage that I was at that age. Um, and so I've been trying to be an example. Here's the hit. So it's crazy, right? You never know how you are going to impact somebody. Never know. You never know. If you're doing it with like, oh, I'm going to teach something, or I'm going to do this. Okay, great. It never pans out that way.
No.
You know what I'm saying? We were just talking about this. Me and Sue was just talking about this. I sometimes wonder the stuff that comes out my mouth. Like, I'm like, wow, did you just say that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm not calculated. I don't think like that, man. I'm like, on my worst day, man, I'll do something and mess something up, man. You know? So I've been praying and that's where I ended up. So today, man, I do groups. Look at that. When I tell you I'm working from home, like, so, everybody's on lockdown. I don't know if you know, um, but we're on lockdown. If you can hear me, right, save a life,
Yeah.
man. Get a mask. Don't go outside if you don't have to. I'm being for real. Listen, I'm being for real. Public service announcement. In New York City, right? I live like 15 minutes from New York, right? I can see the skyline from my window. Right here, I can see the skyline.
Corona deaths, all there, right there.
Yeah, man.
Look.
So yeah, I know. Look, I know, man. So look, so I look like I can see the skyline, right? And I didn't take it serious until the freezer truck was put in Manhattan, right outside of the hospitals, and they just throwing the dead bodies in there.
87,000 deaths, dude, said.
In Manhattan. So, I was joking around. Susie would tell me, no, get away from me. Put on a mask. Do this. And I'd be like, you know what I'm saying? And then my friend Charles posted that.
Joe,
his wife had it. And then Tommy passed away. And then Kevin from Montclair passed away. He was healthy. I was like, wow, man, what? You know what I mean? And money earning Mike Vernon from Vernon, New York, passed away. Then my niece called me, telling me my brother-in-law passed away. I was like, wow. So I don't want to leave the house. And then I found out that because I have sleep apnea, that I'm at risk to, like, if I get it, not be able to, I won't be all right. So I've been like afraid to go to sleep. Not every night, but some nights.
Me too, brother. For real.
So if just wear a mask, man. Wear my mask. I got my mask somewhere over here. Wear a mask. I got Susie bought me like 4 of them.
You spray them down?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
My grandmother said, spray them down.
Yeah. If you were to see Susie today come to my house with her mask, everything, gloves, everything, and then she went home and sprayed it all down. So anyway,
I seen her.
Yep.
Like that. She had the mask on.
Yeah.
When we went to New York, me and Joey P, we shouldn't even went there. That was stupid. But
so anyway, so I'm praying and I'm doing this work, right? And then I'm working at the high school and I'm working with these kids, man. Before I even got to that high school, like when I was interning, right? I'm in a school and this is where, listen, in this book I read, it says, as we see coincidences and miracles happening in our lives, right? It says acceptance becomes trust. That means I have to see it. Oh, there's no coincidences. Yes, there is. Like when you're going through something and you go somewhere and you run into somebody, right? And you're like, oh, wow, I didn't know you came here. That's a coincidence, right? And it's God's way of being anonymous. So I'm in the school, I'm working with these kids, man, and this kid's going through it, man. He's arguing with this his teacher's aide. And I said, yo, man, what's up? Yo, man, stop, man. You ain't gonna win this, man. What's going on? And I take him to the office with me. He said, she told me, she talking about she gonna call my mother, and my mother died last week. I'm talking about like, I mean, I was like, and he was the same age as my son was when his mother passed away. And I felt his pain because I remember the pain my son was in. So right then and there, I knew that this assignment that I'm hearing him tell me that I'm gonna do, that I gotta do it. Because listen to me, it's a true story. In my interview, they asked me, why do you want to work with kids? And I said, you want the truth? And it was like, yeah. I said, I didn't. But I'm good at it. But I got a debt to pay. I got to pay back the debt because my life is beyond my wildest dreams. And I said, if you can help me, I will do whatever it is that you want me to do. And he wants me to pay back that debt by helping somebody else. So it gets better. Listen, man, I get another phone call and they want me to start doing home visits and doing counseling with kids in their home. Like financially, man, it's like crazy. It's like that, like when I tell you, like it's crazy, Bobby. It's a whole nother level. I don't even know how I ended up here, but financially, yeah, it's crazy. And there's the other thing, right? Spiritually, it is priceless. Like, yo, what do I mean by that? So I get a call, right? We use Google Voice, right? Because we stay in touch with the students and we let them know we're here to support you, man. You don't have to use no matter what. And one of the students calls me to tell me that why she ain't go to group, on Zoom. Now, she ain't been in group in weeks. All of a sudden, she want to tell me why she's not going today. It was yesterday. So I call her back, and she tells me that it's gone crazy at her house because her father might have the coronavirus, or her grandmother might have the coronavirus, and that the rest of the family has to be quarantined. But here's the spiritual awakening. I must have left something in that child's life that they knew that they can call a safe place. I called her back and we're talking and she's telling me all this stuff. And I'm like, all right, listen, you got to just sanitize. You got to quarantine. You got to clean your hands, wash your hands. You got to take care of yourself. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. You don't have to use. And then I said, are you doing the schoolwork? Are you got to do the schoolwork. You got to come to group. She's been coming to group every day since. You got to do this work. I said, you're about to graduate. That diploma is still there. What's going on, Peter? I told her, I said, the diploma is still there. That high school diploma. I said, I know you want the high school diploma, but I want college. She said, they asked me for my transcripts. I said, that means you're going to get accepted. Oh, listen, I'm telling you. I said, and we're going to do that. And listen to me, we are going to get through this. Now, I don't know if you know this. This is what makes what I'm talking about, that book that I was reading from, different from every other program. Every single one of their steps starts with we. That's how you'll know what I'm talking about. If you know every single step starts with we, except for the 12, it starts with having had. So that's the difference. So if anybody asks you, oh, what's the difference? That's the difference. Because me by myself, left to my own thinking, ever greater destruction or despair. Me with one of you, we could take the world by storm. In fact, in one of the other books that we read, it says that we build skyscrapers. We build the foundation first, and then skyscrapers. That means sky's the limit. Anything that you want to be, it is possible. You can be anything that you want to be. Hear me when I tell you. I never thought that I would have initials behind my name. I would have letters. And and listen, I'm not saying this to say that I'm better than anybody, but that's a testimony right there. That is like,
Yeah,
listen,
it is.
I couldn't even accept it. I couldn't even fucking accept it that my name was on a business card. It wasn't until my friend Jabbar, look, they got pamphlets, right, with my name on the back of them, like the pamphlet. And my boy Jabbar says, he said, man, he said, look at that. He said, you got your name on a pamphlet.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why? Because I did the work. I continue to do the work. I'm not perfect, man. You know, there's a young lady in here, right? Yeah. She knows we are we program. Yeah. There's a young lady here that knows, right? Her name is Susie Q. She's the first one to tell me I ain't perfect. Um, but she loves me. That's why she tells me about myself. Real quick, when I say to you I ain't perfect, man, my sponsor had to hit me the other day, man, hard. He had to hit me hard, and let me know, man, that this thing that we suffer from, right, it will kill us clean if we don't continue to keep doing the work.
Better do the work.
He said,
So my
he said,
sponsor told me.
yep. Look, I said, man, it's because I'm lazy. He said, no, you're not lazy. I said,
The
you're not
disease is
lazy.
lazy. No, it ain't lazy. It's on going. It wants you to be lazy.
Yeah. Look, he said, you got a master's degree. You ain't lazy. You went to school all those years. You did all that work. You're not lazy.
Come on, Susie.
He said, this thing is trying to play you.
Susie.
Yo, he
Come on,
said,
Sammy.
yep. He said, this thing is trying to play you. He said, the disease trying to play you. And it's going to catch you out there. It's going to kill you. And it's going to kill you clean. So, I got to do 3 questions. And once I get off of this, I have to do 3 questions. I have to do at least 3 questions. And he told me, there's what he said to me. He said, you got to look at those 12 steps as if you've never seen them before in your life. So anyway, as a result of this, man, I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty happy, man. My life is joyous and free. Happy, joyous, and free. With everything that's happening in this world, right? That's happening out there, man. Um, yeah, man. So I'm praying for others. I'm trying to help others as best I can, man. That's why I'm here tonight. Not because I need to share. Yeah, I'll be honest, man. I was telling Susie, I was like, Susie, why you told him that I'm gonna speak? Why you told being for real? And not because I didn't want, because I love doing this. That's the killer part. And not because I'm bad, because I'm all that. Look, I just love. I just get a joy from helping people, and when I don't want to is when I have to. So anyway, so I said, oh man,
I had a plan to get you anyway. So.
I know. so, so I said, all right. I said, I'll go, man. I'll do it. And listen, I'm good. I'm glad that I did. Seriously, thank you so much for asking me, man, because The reality of it is that sometimes I can't accept that I've got something to give. I don't know why is that. I don't know why it is like I'm not. I don't have to figure it out. I don't have to figure it out. I don't. I don't have to figure it out. I don't have to try and figure out why people think I have something to get. I don't have to figure that out. I just have to keep doing what I'm doing. Because the disease wants me to run on the low self esteem. It wants me to work on the stuff that don't exist in my life no more. You know what I mean? Um, like seriously, man.
You know what they told me, Sammy?
What they tell
They
you?
told me you the most consistent motherfucker I ever met in my life. They said you don't give a fucking person a break to breathe. I said, I'm
Right,
on your ass. If you getting on
yeah,
here, I'm on your
right,
ass.
yeah.
And they told me
Look,
the Z's will be on my ass if I don't ask them. If I
and
don't
listen to
ask
me.
for help, how am I going to get it?
I'm
Huh?
gonna tell you something, Carl. You have to keep doing what you're doing.
And
Fuck
do the
them
work.
old timers.
Do the work.
Listen to me. Fuck them old timers that tell you not to do this. Fuck them predecessors that fucking, you know what I'm saying? Tell them to get that stale old ass thought out their motherfucking mind, all right? Because whichever way you can reach people, you do it. And if this is, listen, because of you helping others is why you're so enthusiastic and happy about life. Keep doing this. Do not stop doing this.
Yeah.
Do
I
the
want to
work.
share this with you. So, like I said, before you get off, I was in this Christian based program, but I remember as a little kid, like going to church and stuff, right? But I
Mhm.
wasn't fully committing. That's why it took me 17 years to get this clean time, right? Because I wasn't fully surrendering and being patient, right? And allowing God to come into my life and running on self will all them years got me to where I was at in the past, right? Where I was and where I kept going, right? And it was usually where I was going is to a graveyard, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or um in a box and shit. Like my sister died in Narcotics Anonymous. I don't care what they say, man. I slip up sometimes. The fellowship showed up and they helped me, man. And they inspired me to work a program because a brother stayed on my couch. He said, "You ain't fucking using. No matter what, you ain't using." And that was
Right.
powerful to me. Sometimes I slip up and say that shit, but at the end of the day, we are not a secret society. How can an addict find us when they're literally people's out there dying, dude? And what I want to share with you, I got up on my bed and I just it was weird. It was a Christian based facility, and that's where the word gets carried in that facility. And other predecessors, they said, "You're on a high profile around here." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "You do live videos. We're just worried because you're angry." So I got on the bed, and God said, "Son, hit the live button and tell your story." And it started to reach people. And this lady from New Zealand, she was using, and I said, "Get on here." And she got a year and some change clean, man, for real.
No.
But that's
Listen, man.
God doing something for me, right? Giving me a vision, right?
Hmm.
That's a vision of hope, though. If you can
Yeah.
identify with what I'm saying, like when I lost my sister, and,
Hmm.
and, and like I went working steps, 8 months clean and crazy, but I wanted to beat people up in meetings, and like I went to that location, I heard you share, I like what you had to say, and I asked you. I'm consistent on the speakers, but I'm very important that we must work a program. To
Right.
me, that's how I feel. If y'all don't feel like that on here, you know it's a raw and uncut um, live stream. Facebook took the button away, and I said, "There's a way. I'm gonna find a way to get people on here." And it's something called Streamcast. It's
Right.
professional stuff, but if we want it, we got to pay for it. That's how life is. And I noticed when I got with my girl, here's the hope. I left the city mission on self will, right? This is where it gets real at. So as I left the city mission, right, and didn't want to follow by the rules, I come to my girl's house. She said, "Motherfucker, you're going to get a job." I said, "Oh, I picked the right one." Boom, right in the stomach. Look. So me not knowing and shit, like what I wanted, my mom was telling me, but I was thinking with the big head down there, right? Off of lust and shit. You know what I mean? So I got a job, and guess what? I didn't get on a lease, but now I'm on a lease, right? That's because doing the right thing. You know, we do the right thing around here and shit, and people start to see that. And guess what? The guy that's a predecessor, he went down there and vouched for me. The program I left, he said this guy has changed his life, man, and he got me on that lease, dude. He's a pastor. You know what I mean? And that's some hope. I'm engaged, man, and God gave me this platform. All right.
Good. Keep going.
God gave me this platform to reach the people that really ain't in the Zoom meetings. I attend the Zoom meetings, but I go live every night and just it's inspirational freestyle recovery flow is because like whatever comes to my mind, whatever motivation, I freestyle and flow with it. And people's like, why'd you do that? You were some type of rapper or something? I'm like, nah, man, it's a flow. We come to the flow, man. And we flow with our language, man. And like I said, man, I don't let nobody tell me how to live. I was told that locked in a cell for so many years. COs telling me how to live, and I just believe like, the ultimate weapon. Like I take direction, I take suggestions, I work a program. Like 8 months clean when I wasn't working a program, and I got into this other relationship I almost used, brother. I got my heart broken. I was supposed to go to Start to Live 36. I couldn't attend. I was going with the girl I think you shared out there at the men's rap. And how I met my girl, I sold her a piece of my clothing when I showed you. And guess what? I left the program, got a job, but some things were happening in that job. He was preying on women. I didn't like it. Went back to that image, the old behaviors, and I got fired from my job. But God's got a plan because the guy that watches me and bought me this laptop works for a Vivitrol clinic. And I don't know how people's going to feel about this. He said, you will be hired for this Vivitrol clinic after this coronavirus. I own it. He bought me this laptop and this camera that we're watching right now. He said, God told me to bless you. And when you get hired, you bless others. I said, wow. I said, what the hell? He talking about 6 figures of money and all. That's what they do. It's a buy and sell Vivitrol clinic. It's the only one in the United States, and it's called Positive Recovery Solutions. But with all that being said, man, like I don't do this. I don't work for a treatment center. I just want to help people, brother. Right. And I got to get to my step work too. So thank you for coming on. And
I want to read something real quick if I could.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we want to hear this.
Yeah, you said it was a freestyle. You said it was a freestyle rap, right? A freestyle
recovery
your story. Yeah, shit, freestyle, right? Okay. Yeah. So ready? Get at me, killer. It's that type of day we've been craving after. Opportunities are stacked, ain't no turning back. God said the road up. Pack your bags. This journey is relentless with high and low dimensions, but no need for apprehension. We're talking limitless horizons, spirit-filled surprises. I have the map that will guide my experiences, all tied to the principles that will ignite you. Just surrender, son. It's inside you. Trust is essential. Hope is fundamental. Willingness will let you use all your potential. Honesty will give you the help to venture. Perseverance, that's instrumental. Humility, that's influential. For the immense to clear the mental. Inventory for when it hits you. The mission only meant for you. Then and only then, my friend, is the awakening of a higher sense. It's a 12-step thing, my friend. Are you ready?
Wow. I like that, man. We're going to get up, though, soon after all this shit breaks. I'll get you down here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bobby, wait. If Bobby Shanley's still there, did you hear that, Bobby? Did you caught that, Bobby?
No, I don't think Bobby pops in every once in a while.
Yeah, listen. But anyway, for everybody else, man, that was, I've been having that. I wrote that one morning, and it's a 12-step thing, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. You have a blessed night, brother.
You too, man.
All right, brother. Man, that was amazing. Man, that was powerful.